Hey, you guys, it's Acrylic Painting Monday. Ginger Cook here. Want to make a big wave? John Little, we're doing what we call a premiere, which means that we're not filming it live as, we normally, you see on an awful lot of our videos on YouTube are filmed live, but we're traveling right now, so this is going to be filmed before it's aired. So what's fun is about this is that I can do a little bit more elaborate things because I can take the time to dry in between what I'm doing, and I don't make the show really long. We can keep the momentum going. So what we're talking about today is we're going to paint some carousel horses, and anybody can paint like a photograph. What if you were to take the techniques you've learned from painting all the Van Goghs we've done and paint it the way you think Van Gogh might have, right?
If he could paint,
if he painted carousel horses, how might he have painted them? Just a guess, kind of intuition. That's what we're going to do. Kind of break it up. This is. I think we've had a lot of winter paintings and holiday paintings and all that stuff, and I thought it might be nice to just break it all off from there and just get a splash of color.
Ooh, I like that.
You like that? So that being said, we're on a 9x12 canvas. The actual traceable for this is on our website, acrylicpaintingwithgingercook.com, orange members and above. All right? But I have it already sort of traced on the canvas just to speed things up. And
you've seen her trace things 1,000 times before.
You've seen me do it 1,000 times before. And what I'm going to do is just use a black Posca pen, and I'm going to do a little outlining like so. One of the things Van Gogh was famous for was his outlining. You remember that? That was one of the things that he was absolutely famous for, was his outlining. And something like this, we're going to say that, and curvy lines. Apparently he didn't own a ruler. Maybe his hand shook. I don't know, but he didn't really participate in straight lines. Does that make sense? So we're going to go ahead and just do our best to just try to follow in his tradition. So I think I want a little. This pen's fine point, which is fine, but sometimes it's nice to do thick and thin lines. I wonder if I have it. Well, I think that's the one I have right now. Usually I just do that. So, well, for now, this will just have to do, and then we'll go back and we'll make a few repairs.
A few adjustments. Hey, I'd like to thank the moderators for showing up today. We know who you are.
Yes, and I know it's getting very I think this is being aired in January, is it not, John?
January 9th. Okay. And we may be in the air, so we may not be here.
Yeah, so John and I are probably, we are in there. We travel home on the 9th. Yes?
Yep.
We're in the air somewhere over.
Somewhere.
Somewhere over somewhere. Yes and yes.
I think one's not.
Yeah, I just don't think it hurts to just take a moment and sort of outline. You're starting to see now what I'm doing. And I want to come above here like that.
You got to feel the majority of that's going to disappear anyways once you apply paint.
Yeah, most of it's going to apply paint. When I apply paint, you're absolutely right, it will disappear. For sure. But that being said, we will just do this anyway because I think it's nice to see that. And we've got all kinds of fun stuff here. Let's see, what do we want to do here? We got some fun stuff. And let's see, anything else I want to do? Oh yeah, just again, the guy never did a straight line, so we're not either. Um, uh,
It's almost a painting just like itself, just like that.
yeah, almost, isn't it? Kind of. We haven't done much, but we've done a little bit, yes. And okay. All right, and we're just gonna break up the space here with something. And um, all right, so that's what I've got.
Oh, that looks great.
Right? Does that look great?
And we put numbers in it. We could do a paint by number.
Well, you could, couldn't you? There you go. So that's our Posca pen. Now let's get our colors out. That'll be fun, you guys. We're gonna have a good time with this. And we've done several carousel horses, particularly on YouTube. We got two, at least two. And so I want to get our color chart here. I hope you've made one of these by now. If you're new to our channel, these are the colors we use all the time. We've got dazzling purple, we've got phthalo green. This is the color with white. You see here's phthalo green, there's the color with phthalo green and white, so you kind of get an idea of what we're doing. Got burnt umber, which is our darkest brown. Phthalo, we're not using phthalo blue, but we are using ultramarine blue. Titanium white, cad yellow light, cad yellow medium. This is cadmium orange, cad red light, magenta, and I think we are going to do a yellow oxide, which I didn't put out yet. That's to say it's not coming, right? Just have to find it. My little bucket of paint here. Where's my yellow oxide here somewhere? Here's a nice big tube. Hope you're buying nice big tubes of white. Just move this up here. My little bucket of paint, the colors I use all the time. Don't you love how organized I am? I'm going to just dig through this, and it's not in this bucket. It's got to be in the other one. Got to be one or the other, doesn't it, John?
I would think it'd be one or the other.
It's cadmium orange, yeah. Cadmium orange is a great color. I can get a little bit. Well, we could safely say it's not in that bucket, so it's got to be in the other one, yes?
I don't know if we can safely say it, but we can certainly say it.
Well, it's not safe to say it?
I don't think so.
All right. So, there it is. You see, last bucket.
Well, notice how nicely they're squeezed from the bottom.
Yeah, well, that's how my toothpaste is. Just how I just do things. I'm sorry. Sock folders beware, because that's what I do. Probably don't want to do that. I'm not the example for that. All right, so let's put our paint back down. We've got these Stay Wet palettes, which are marvelous. All right, so I'm going to move this piece of paper out of the way, and we're just going to start
in the beginning.
In the beginning, let's see. I want to make sure that I've got something coming up this way, like that, and down here like that. All right, so here you go, you guys. Painting if Van Gogh were painting. So let's take a little Bristol on brush.
Van Gogh, if Van Gogh were painting. No, he painted. if you were going to paint carousels.
That's it. There you go. All right. So I want to do.
Go painting.
I'm going to take a little bit of yellow.
Long night, kids.
It's going to be a long night. I'm going to take some yellow, and I'm just going to paint some yellow right here. Okay. This is just Cad Yellow Light. And I'm going to just paint it and just kind of close to my lines, but don't get too. You can always put the lines back. We just sort of a little guide here. Okay. Now let's just do that first. They're yellow over the red because we're going to bury the yellow anyway. So this is just the color we want showing underneath the color. We started off with a 9x12 red canvas, and I know that I want some of this yellow up here. That's pretty, isn't it? So let's take this up here like this and do this. I love scallopy things, don't you?
Well, I see in the text messages that people like to know what color is that background.
That's just what is that, John? You did it. What is that background color, John? I give up. What is
pinky.
it? Huh?
It's pretty pink. It was probably probably one of your nap red and white.
Okay. All right. So here we go.
Really seldom do I get those colors.
All right. So now we're going to take some orange here, and we're going to come over the mane of the horse here like this. We're going to say, there it is. There it is. Say it out together. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
She's done now.
Well, there you go. I think I want a little orange right here. Don't ask me why, but I'm putting it because I decided.
Why are you putting orange there?
And then I want a little bit of orange right here because I'm making this up and I like it but I actually have a color plan I've made up previously. So there's a little bit of method to my madness here. Okay.
You have a thought. I
have a thought, and I've got some Cad Red, and that's going to go right here, and maybe some magenta. Cad Red, move. More Cad Red than magenta. There you go. I want this to be a bright red, but I'm not going to paint it white. Van Gogh had trouble with reds. A lot of people don't know that, but red was a very expensive color to get, and he couldn't afford paint. He traded, his art dealer for paints, and even though his brother gave him money to paint things, red was again one of those really still is a very pricey color. And so there's true story. There's a museum in England. Going to come back here with the reds again. Museum in England, and it has these white roses by Van Gogh, but they originally were red roses, but they faded terribly.
So he changed the name to protect the innocent.
Well, they're not white roses because people couldn't afford the good reds, right? So now I'm going to take a little bit of white, red, and yellow, and come up here like this, and more white. This is titanium white, and let's see. Let's wipe that brush off. So I'm not happy with the color. More white here. I want a peach color. See, let's take a little magenta with that. A little bit of yellow, magenta, and white should give me a very good peach color. Maybe some orange with it. There we go. Some sort of little peach color right here. Start with that. Yeah? Yes and yes, and you're going, can't tell yet. All right, so let's do something bold and crazy, then you'll be able to tell, right? So let's take some white and ultramarine blue and paint this horse in. Because I think if I do that, you'll see, oh, there's a horse, I see that. It just gets kind of, I see that there's a horse here. And we can do is, we'll just go ahead and paint around the eyes. Probably want a smaller brush for that when we get into the details. So if you get too big a brush, sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. we're going to go ahead and say there's his head, and his eye's going to go there somewhere. We'll have to come back with that. Okay, here's that coming up around here, down like that. So we're starting with the blue first. There'll be some white over it, but we'll start with the blue. Okay. And then let's take some Dazzling purple and paint this this horse in. There you go. Best of colors, you guys.
Pretty colors.
Get a little bit darker back here. Put a little bit magenta and purple together, makes it pretty dark. Something darker right here. This is just, at this point, this is just Dazzling purple, and it's the actual color is very dark, but it's a beautiful purple. It has a tendency to glare a little bit in photographs when you're trying to photograph your artwork, which can be a little bit problematic, but not too badly. Okay. And we're going to come around here like this, and I want a little bit of purple. Got some purple I want over in this area too. So I always ask myself, where else can I put that color? Right, then I want a little bit of white and magenta. As long as I'm doing it, put that right next to that. See how pretty that looks? And I'll use that same color here, magenta and white, and do a little bit. I'm going to do the mane like this. We're going to start the mane out like this, so we can differentiate it when we'll come back and add highlight colors. And don't worry if you lose your outline, we can always go back and take care of that. So let's come up here like that, and do our horse head here. A little bit of magenta on this nose, white. Yes and yes. You kind of can see him now, and I'm going to do a little bit of a white blaze down his face, like that. That's what that's called on a horse, when they call it a blaze. I wonder why they call it that, John. I don't know. Someone's going to ask that. I don't know. They call it a blaze.
I would think you would know that over me.
Yeah, you'd think I'd know that, but I don't know that, actually. No, I really don't know that. So this is still wet. I'm going to just swiggle on some color here. That's a little bit too much paint on there. I'm going to roll that off a little bit. Okay. So that's pretty good here. We'll put a little of that light color right there. All right, so I'm always looking. I think that's the main part of our purple. Gosh, this is picking up a lot of paint. Let's come up here and do this. So, I hope everybody had a really nice holiday.
Starting a whole new year.
And starting a whole new year. So we hope that your New Year's resolution might be to have really challenged yourself to do more paintings and expand your art skills. And if you have some of you, I'm hoping may have gotten a academy membership for Christmas, or maybe a little funds, and you can be able to do that yourself. A little bit of purple up here. So if that's the case, that would be awesome, right? If you could do that. Let's see, I want a little bit of purple right here. Let's take purple and ultramarine blue, and let's do a dark line right here. Doing all the easy stuff first. Does that make sense?
Best way to approach it.
I figured I'd do all the real easy stuff first, and then we'd come back and tackle some of the more challenging bits, right? Yeah. So far that's what we got. But, it takes a little while to do these things. So, going to rinse the brush. I think I want a light blue color. Yeah. That's a little bit of white. This is ultramarine blue. First layer of that, right? Boy, already it's festive, isn't it? Maybe I want a little bit of this blue color in here too, and the horse. We'll just put some more of that later. This is a nice color. We got some lighter blue down in here like that. And let's do a little bit of light color here. Okay, and maybe a little orange right up in here. Okay. As long as I'm painting, you might want to put a different color there. That's the color I thought would look nice there. Here's a little bit of yellow oxide. I'm going to put that right here. And right here, let's say here's some yellow oxide. You don't want any water on the brush. You just want pure paint, because we're going to go over this. Right now, we're just sort of outlining all of this in a just keeping it simple as we can. And let's see. I think I want some yellow up here. That's pretty. Let's put some yellow right there. And if I've got some light yellow, I might be able to put some right here on the horse's saddle, right here like that. And how about some light yellow right up here like this? Maybe with some white. Let's get some white on the other side of this mound. Ooh, that works. That's kind of cute, right? Ooh, and then what could we do? Well, for sure we want a yellow bridle against purple, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. And why do we like that?
Okay, because purple and yellow are complements.
They're buddies.
They like that. So that would be a good thing to do right there. Yes and yes. And I want some white now. And put it on this, just over this, just like this. Wiggle it. Just white on the brush. It's still kind of wet. It's just going to wiggle this in here like this. Okay. Something a little lighter right here. Everything's, what we're doing is we're layering stuff. Okay, that's all I'm doing here is just playing around with the layers. And it's actually a pretty simple painting. It's just got a lot of stuff, which I know that's kind of counter to what I just said, but it just got a lot of stuff.
That really doesn't follow the logic there, Queen.
Well, I can't help it. I'm a complicated person. All right.
You are.
I'm going to take some of this orange and I'm going to put it up here like this. just up here on the top of our carousel part, like that. And then a little bit darker orange here, a little cad red with it. That's cadmium orange, and there you go, just something a little bit brighter. Then I want something brighter in here. Look at that. Look what happens when we brighten this up second time around. Yeah. Okay. And do I have anything? I think I've got a little bit of this color. A little bit right here on it. Like here on the bridle. It's just kind of a red. Let's do a magenta. Magenta bridle. Okay, there you go. Take that magenta, and we'll just put some of that on this horse too. A little bit of red up here. Kind of like a, there we go. Let's just say that there's something here on the chest plate. A little bit of white and yellow, makes a little peach. And let's come up here like this with some actual titanium white and do this. And then let's do that. Let's say that there's the top of this saddle right here. And there's a little peach color coming here. Who knows? There we go. See, so it's started. See how we're sort of bringing it to life? Yeah, if I wanted a little bit of white and yellow, okay, I might want right under here something light right under here so it shows up, so the horse shows up. Make sense? And maybe I want some yellow stripes. And if I've got some yellow stripes there, maybe I'll do some yellow stripes here. Yeah. That's just my decorations, right?
Carousel.
Okay, so there's the, let's see, let's take some white and yellow, and let's just do this. Little circles. That looks right to me. Does that look right to you? There'd be circles there. This would be brighter. Be brighter. Okay. All right. So far so good. Yes and yes. It's just so funny to me. January 19th. What are we releasing for the Academy? Do we have anything yet?
January 9th. No, we do not.
We haven't. So we'll have to surprise you with that because we haven't designed it yet, or we have it. We haven't painted it yet.
But hopefully we get home in time to do all that.
Yeah, we'll have it, for that week.
We do have new rules as far as how we're going to be releasing lessons in the new year, so be sure to check the website for that tidbit of information.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You want to do that. All right, so now I'm going to sit there and take a little bit of magenta and white, and I'm just going to come up here like this, and I'm going to tap it on here like that. See what I just did? Okay. And then I want to just take some white. This is dry by now. I want to take some white and phthalo green and phthalo blue and a little bit of yellow and most more white. Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush off now because I've got too much paint on it and wipe it off. Now I'm going to take some of that color with a little bit more white. Mostly white with this little blue color. And I'm going to just go ahead and again tap this on here like that using the edge of my brush. I want some of that yellow to show through. Kind of a tricky layer here. And a little bit more of the blue. Okay. We're building this painting up, and it's just, this is where you can have, this is where, imagination does pop in. And people always say, well, when is imagination important? It's always important, but sometimes you can to sort of surprise yourself with some stuff just by the way you paint something in. Maybe decide to paint something different, something someone hasn't thought of before, maybe a new way to paint something. But still, I had an original, a reference photo for the horses that you can go off of. Okay, so now I'm going to take some peach color, which would be, no, not peach. I think I want magenta up here and white. And I want up here like that. I want this, put a little bit of burnt sienna in this and brown that up. Too much paint, just a drop of that. Let's take this color down a bit. What do we mean when we say take a color down? Talk about that. We talk about that, taking a color down and what that means. It means that you make it less bright, kind of dull it a little bit, gray it up a little bit, gray it with a complement, that kind of thing.
How do you do that?
You use a complement. You mix it with a complement. You take it, in other words, you take it down a little bit. That's the trick. You want to do that, be able to do that. Just make it a little bit less, kind of dull it up a little bit, so it's not so bright. Kind of muddy it up, you friends. All right, that's what we're going to do. Now we'll take a little bit of this light color right here.
Basically, so it's not shouting at you.
Yeah, basically. Okay, so we're saying something happened there. And now, this got a little muddy on me because I just didn't dry it, but I'm just not in the mood to dry anything today. So if we got muddy, I'm just not.
Pulling attitude.
Just not going to dry. So I'm just going to go over a little bit with some peach. And this is where I want my layers. You see what I mean? If you're going to paint like Van Gogh, you want to just have layers. A little bit of yellow in there too. A little bit of orange. And suddenly you've got good practice, right? You've got to paint like layers. Now, I'm going to rinse the brush and keep going. This is a very interesting study on how to do this to me. All right, so here's some phthalo green, which I like, and I think I want some phthalo green. A little bit of white with it. Right there. I think I want a little phthalo green here. Yes and yes. And if I had some of that, would I put it over here? Yeah, I think you need to wear some of that too. So we're going to say you've got a little phthalo green that you're wearing. Okay. Is there any of that green? There's a little bit of that green right up here on the bridle. Right there. Okay. Put a little of that green up there. Starting to bring this. You know what this kind of reminds me of, John?
No.
Kind of a cake.
What?
It reminds me of a birthday cake.
A birthday cake?
Yeah, I don't know why, but it reminds me of cake.
I won't ask you why. I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, well, I know, but it does.
The color, maybe? The color of the icing?
It's something, the icing.
The smoothness of it? It's very smooth looking.
Well, I was going to do a bunch of texture on it and decided that, even with all of this, it's going to take a little while to do this. But I will show people how to do that too. We'll do something, I'll show them. We will put the clear texture over it, John, at the end. Clear gel over it. Make it look really thick and textury. I'll show people how to do that and what it looks like when it's dry. Okay, so far so good. Yes and yes. So,
Layer upon layer.
yeah, I mean, it's so strange, isn't
See,
it?
this probably reminds you of a cake. All the layers.
That's right. I bet that's it. That's got to be it, John. That's probably true. So a little bit of burnt. Here it goes. A little bit of brown. A little bit of yellow oxide. Put that color there and maybe some of this color up here. Yes and yes. Do you know the color I want? We haven't got it out yet, right? How could we do this without that color? And you know the one I mean too, don't you?
Well, I know one that's in my mind, but I'm not sure if that's what you're going for already.
I want
Luminous rose.
luminous rose. Do I have any, or do I have to get a new tube? I've got brilliant pink.
Well, that's a good color.
Yeah, brilliant pink's kind of pretty. Let's do that. It's pretty, right? Brilliant pink from Pope. Oh yeah, I like brilliant pink. Do that.
And keep it with the tones of what you've got going on. Luminous rose might be a little too loud.
Yeah, I think I want some brilliant pink on this too, like this. Oh, that's pretty, right? Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
That's a birthday cake if I ever saw one. And then here's I want this to be right here, the top of the saddle. And then I think I want naphtha crimson. How can we do anything without red? Okay, back to our little banging around in our little tubs of paint. There we go. I mean, we're gonna get the colors out, man. This is fun stuff, yeah?
Sparing no expense.
Absolutely not. So we're gonna say there's the. Oh yes, we definitely needed that red, didn't we? Look at that. We definitely needed some red here. This is one of those paintings where you gotta have colors. Definitely want colors. For sure. Um, I know you guys would like it better if I put all the eyes on the horses and everything, and then you'd all be happy. But maybe we'll surprise you that till the end. I can show you how we do it till the very end, right? Keep the suspense going. Yes.
Usually the eyes is the first thing you do with the animals.
I know. Usually it's the eyes first, isn't it? Right. So let's do a little bit of green.
New year, new technique.
Well, let's.
Keep you guessing. That's what we like to do.
Yes, yes, and yes. Oh, all right. So let's do the purple. Let's come down here next to our face here and get more purple on our nose and face. And Okay, you started to see them, right?
Starting to come together, starting to take form.
Starting to take form, yes and yes. Let's do some of this bright red here. And a little bit up here too. Okay. Yes and yes. Bit of red up here, maybe. A little bit of purple. Need a little square here. A little box here, a little box here. Okay, so that makes maybe a little bit more sense. Okay. And just using purple for this, but we will come back with the pen. There we go. Great fun. Yes and yes.
Looking pretty good so far.
Well, we're working on it. We're just doing what we can here, but we've got enough colors out where now we can start doing kind of odds things, and it kind of works. Like, for instance, let's say that this is something right here, and here's some light, cad yellow light. Let's just do a light yellow down here. Another light yellow streak down our poles. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to just go ahead and put that dark in myself, or I'll do it, but I want to do it a little differently than that. I'll hide that. Um, so when you see stuff like that, we've got some beautiful, beautiful horse tutorials on our website. I mean, real, very
Lots of horsies.
lots of horses. You're going to get yellow and cad red cad yellow medium and cad red make a different color orange. Do you see that? I think I'm going to change this saddle a little bit to how I originally drew it on. White, because this is all kind of off-white now. We get enough colors on the little carousel horse where then when you put white, it really shows up. Guess it would help if I put the eyes in, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna resist.
Fight it.
We're gonna fight it. I'm gonna say there's the saddle, and let's see, what can we put here? How about some bright red right there? Red and green are complements. That'd be pretty. Ooh, how about a purple? Let's do this. Let's do this on the girth here. Let's do a purple girth. There you go. That looks pretty good. Okay. All right. So kind of getting there, right? Think so? So far, so good?
One layer at a time.
What, isn't it funny? It's a kind of one layer at a time. So, sometimes, people just sit there and say, well, I like the tutorials where you just sort of meander along and, kind of do your thing. And, that's good. We like those too. And here's some of that light pink again. Ooh, no, it isn't. Where did we get that color? Just missed it completely. Did you see me? I went to reach for the pink.
It moved on you.
And it moved on me. Well, it's all right. That's... It moved on me. That's all of this. That's what you want. You want to be able to just kind of, this is the one where you just do another layer, right? Do another layer, make it seem more interesting. Let's, what could we do here? Something a little bit brighter here. Where could I put this red up here? Again, red's being one of those colors. I'm going to kind of cover some of these up. I don't like them. This is why we always tell you to watch it to the end. You never know, right?
Always a secret.
Yeah, because it's just, as I'm starting to do it, I'll get a better idea. A little heart right here, right? Okay, on the horse. All right, I'm kind of using purple like my black. Okay, so it's kind of, instead of black, I am using purple instead of black. All right, let's start putting in the nose in here. Oh, she got an eye. It's good, right? We were so relieved that you gave her an eye, right? Yeah. Purple? Sounds about right, doesn't it? Yes and yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
So that's the trick, is that thick and thin lines. You might want to write that down, thick and thin lines, when you're outlining anything. Um, Yes and yes. I want that a little thicker, so I'll just make that a little wider right there, and then I'll fill it in with yellow if I need to. Okay. So same thing with this. I'll put a little purple and red together, and I'm going to come down here like this and do this curvy line, and a little curvy line like that, a little curvy line like that. Okay. And this is going to come down all the way to here. All right. Ooh, neat. Okay. Now I want to put that horse in front, so I'm going to do a curvy line like that. And I'm going to come along here like this and just start outlining a little bit. Are we starting to see them?
I think so. A horse with no eyes.
Well,
Kind of
that's all right.
scary.
That's the big surprise. You know, horse with no eyes. Very idea. Okay. All right. Now, at some point, we'll come back here with some pens and something like. Not sure I like that right there. That's let's just take that out. Don't know that I like it. Well, let's do this first. Let's get a more saddle going on up here in front of this horse. And also want something going this way. Put that horse in front of that. But I think I need this to be trying to think what I need the color of this to be for this horse to show up. Maybe something lighter. We'll take it out for now and then see what else we want to do. So we'll take it so it shows up. Maybe a little bit of about light blue. That might work. Phthalo green, light blue. How about this? Yeah, that's good, right? Then we'll do a few little stripes going down this way. We'll break it up. Unless you just have to rethink things. Not say too much about it, okay? And maybe have it just a little bit less right here. Just don't talk about it so much. Okay. We haven't dried anything, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. All right. So I'm going to take a moment and dry everything. We're going to start putting in the details. Okay. Not that we haven't been, but for the final details. What do you think?
Looking good.
Okay, so we've dried it. I've got my Artiso pens. I got these last summer on our Amazon was having a sale. I got 30 pens. They're fine point. They didn't have good reviews for the fatter ones. People didn't like them, but the extra fine tips seem to. They're a little hard to get started, but I think once you do get them started, they work pretty well. John spent some time trying to get them started for us.
I think we're doing the eyes now, folks.
We're doing the eyes, right? Yeah, we're definitely doing the eyes here. Okay, it's just paint pens are. It's not cheating. They're not cheating.
It's just a different brush.
It's a different brush, right? You got to think of it like that, right? Different brush. I'll come back with some other kind, but just gonna kind of outline kind of what I want to do, and so we're gonna. I'm just going to play with a little bit with here in the light, for instance. Oh, I want the darker pink one. Got all these pretty pink ones, but we'll come in here and say there's his mouth. And then let's do this for his toothies. Always these kind of horses always have toothies showing. Have you ever noticed that?
They have what?
Toothies.
Yeah.
They like to have the little toothies showing. This is white. Okay, like that. So you want remember I keep telling you about thick and thin lines, right?
I remember that.
So
That was in the beginning.
the beginning, which we mentioned that thick and thin lines were important. Okay, just some small stuff like that because we'll go back over it with other colors. But and I asked John to get these ready for me because I thought that they were. I thought it would be helpful to have that. Let's see, we got a purple here. Some of you have told me some of the videos that we have done where you have the pens, okay, where we've done the pens, have been I think very helpful. The people like them. They like playing with them. So let's see. So that's sort of a combination of pens and a small brush is kind of what I'm doing here now. Right. So just kind of a combination of all of that. Let's see what I like. I think maybe blue up here. Let's do something blue here. Blue here. Yeah. And I want some white here on the face. And sometimes you can use a pen, and sometimes you're as effective as if you use a brush. So we're going to say we want some light here on that face, right like that. See, just, the lightest light against the darkest dark, kind of bring it all forward. Yes and yes.
Brings attention to the eyeball.
Yeah. So, and one thing we know about horses, even when you're painting, actual real horses, is you want to have it a little bit lighter over the eye because that makes it seem more 3D. When you do something like that, it gives it that 3D effect that you normally don't associate with that. So there's something like that. A little purple up in here, too glob of purple. Don't want that. There you go, like so. And this to me is very entertaining doing this stuff like this. I don't know, because it's so different, right? But it's just, we've been all doing landscapes and flowers and yada, yada, yada. And this is where you can sit there and say, kind of let loose, I would say. Wouldn't you say that was a good way to explain it, right, John? You kind of let loose, right?
Absolutely.
Where you sit there and say, okay, I'm gonna a little bit of the light. And then start to bring force like this forward. Let's see, what else do I want to do with this one? We're getting the eyes, but I like the eye, don't you? I want a little bit of green in that eye. I want an outline of green in that eye. Ooh, no, too big a brush. Let's really do this. That will be it. That's what we need. That light green under here. Ah, isn't that cool? Yeah. Yes and yes.
That makes it special.
Yep. Huh, how cute is that, right? Some green toothies too, yeah. Let's put a little red in his nose. I'm not against a little green over here either. Just maybe not that. Let's see. That had too much water on the brush, so then I didn't get a good glimpse of that. There's water there. We didn't want water there. Okay, so all right.
Got a lot of colors in it.
This is just, I'm telling you, it's like frosting.
It's very Van Goghish, that's for sure. Probably a little brighter than his.
Well, he didn't have access to the color. He would have done it this way too. Yeah. Just so there.
Oh, I thought it was a guy horse.
Still is a guy horse. Can have pink.
You have
What did you
pink hair?
Yes, he can. Can't
Are you a
so.
punk rocker?
He's a guy horse, and he can have whatever I say.
All right, I'm going to dye my hair a little pink.
Well, you could. We'll come up here a little bit here with this and put that in front of that. So that's in front of that. Okay. Now let's play more with our stuff here.
What a fun little painting.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's well, you know what, darling, it's different.
It's fun. It's a fun painting. It's one of those therapeutic paintings. You can just sit here and just play with color. Especially the way you just laid it out with, paint by number type style.
Yeah, absolutely. Just did it that way.
Real simple. Just sit there and play with the colors. Therapy
art, right?
Therapy at its best.
Oh, you can. I mean, I think some of you, when I start seeing these over in our acrylic painting club, we start seeing some of this over there, right? Ooh, now it's coming to life, right?
Man, stop. It's just too much.
Just have fun. And, you might, for instance,
Ooh, details now.
yeah. Can have whatever we want, right? We don't have any reins on them, but I don't know if I want to add any more lines. I still think I want something dark enough back in here to just to say the difference between this bring this horse in front.
In front of what, that green?
Yeah, in front of the green. So I want that to be darker.
Do we know what that green really is?
No.
Okay.
We don't. It's just some stuff that was back there that we're not talking about.
It's probably another horse or something.
Whatever it is, we're not talking about it.
I'm going to talk about it. Pretend like I didn't even bring it up.
No, we don't know.
What green? There's no green. Now you got my curiosity up there. I'm going to have to look. Oh, okay. I got it. It's the innards of the carousel part. Got it. Okay. I like it.
There's the heart there. See? It looking better. Yes. Okay. Just this is too close. This red is too close to this. Do you see that? These two, so that doesn't read well.
No, it kind of looks like that continues on back there. I bet it doesn't.
And it doesn't. So we want this a different color. So I think what we'll pick here is maybe orange. Let's try orange here. Brighter colors bring stuff in front, right? There you go. Now suddenly, just doing that brought that horse in front, right?
Yeah. I didn't tie that piece in the back.
No, it didn't. And that's key here too. So you can have some red, but it's gotta do something like that, right? Now I still want this to really show up. So I want to make sure that this is outlined well. Okay, so you can see that that horse is in front of this one. And then this is a pretty strong line here, so let's take a little bit of the green and just tap on there like this with some white. This just doesn't have to be that all that, right? And I'm having fun. I'm using up all the. Can be one of those chairs that they have back there.
Yeah.
You know, and then I think this isn't light enough, so we got to get out that. Where'd I put that light pink? I want that a bit lighter. Right here. See, that's how you get your thick and thin lines, by the way. You can put a little bit of white paint with that. There you go, something like that. See, now it's paint's starting to get thicker. As you layer on, right? As you layer your stuff on, then you'll find that the everything gets it starts to get to probably, I guess what I want to say is pull together. So just do some sort of little tags in here. Doesn't have to be much, just a little something. Oh yeah, we want here. I'll tell you what. Let's do. Let's take a little bit of the white, titanium white, and which I had somewhere to show you why you wanted a big tube. I remember it's coming back now, and we're just gonna put a little more because I want some with the purple. I want this lighter with the purple, right like here. So I want to just go ahead and do this ear. Yes and yes. Just the smallest things, but boy, they make such a difference, don't they? And I want some of this white with this blue, because I didn't mean to have this dark blue be this dark. A little bit lighter than that. Okay. Yes and yes. And let's see, let's put on that. Okay. And I think this one I want to do the same thing. This little one right here needs to do this. Same thing with a little dot. And not have it go down to this horse. I don't know why it did that, but we need the red here to separate this horse from the background. Okay. And then we can have a little bit of there. So then we can do yes and yes.
Looking pretty fancy.
Yes and yes. And the thing about carousel horses is you want to exaggerate the eyes. You want to make them bigger than they normally. They're always a little bit bigger than a normal horse eye. They just are. Well, see, now you probably didn't know that, but now you know it, right? Let's just make that a little bit more dished nose, more of a friendlier nose. What have I got here? Wait. Got some water there. Just okay.
Boy, that was close. Whose call?
Yeah, just. Then I want something a little brighter yellow up in here. Well, I think this is interesting, isn't it? I'm not sure this line up there did anything to sort of is distracting.
Yeah, one little squiggly line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we needed that. We'll just take it out. Let's take some pink and put like this or something. Some red. Then we've got some purple. Outline this ear. Okay. This is a little bright now. Then I little want see how my eyes go into this horse because it's so bright. This pole.
Oh, the pole back there
Uh-huh.
because it's right next to the dark horse.
Well, my eyes just go into this pole.
It's going right to that nose in the pole.
Yeah, so we got to tone that pole down. I think we have to tone it down with some yellow oxide or something. Better, right?
Yeah.
Still there, but if you're going to have a lighter one, it's got to be on this other horse right here. You're going to say, there's the light
It's
pole.
going to be on the main star.
Yeah, the main star of the horse. And let's pull that pole through here, too. There we go.
You might want to put that little dark edge on the.
Oh, on the pole?
Yep. Just to kind of complete that thought.
Okay, well, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Now that makes more sense, doesn't it? And I think I need something going up this way. Something under here like this. I want something light. See, this is too close to the same value as this chest. So we're going to lighten that up right there. Because it's too, the value is, if this were a black and white painting, you guys, these two colors are too, you have to watch that because it seemed like a good idea at the time. So we'll just put a decoration there. Now, it's very subtle. We haven't said anything, right? But now, you see this horse isn't, got in front. See what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like this, I don't quite like the saddle on this one. I want to bring the saddle down here like this. Let's take some white paint to do that. Again, sometimes when you can lighten something up a bit. It can be, and it doesn't have to be all one color, right? Just going to lighten up the saddle. Then put a little of this orange down in here like that. And then I'll outline it. And just bring that down. Just some water there. Bring the saddle down. I like that. Let's just bring the saddle down like this. I think it comes from years of riding horses, how I want to see stuff, right?
So you have that advantage.
Yeah.
I have to say that my riding skills are
So you see how I just kind of made that saddle, and then if I put
limited.
The purple, then we'll make a light purple for the girth. Yes? All right. So, this is where the Posca pens can come in. Some fun ones. John did all these for me. Van Gogh was he just loved outlining stuff. That was just like one of his little favorite things. You want to make sure that...
We just did another video talking about not outlining things. I'm so confused.
Well, normally you don't want to. Normally you do not want to outline anything. But in this case...
If you're emulating a person's
style, yeah. See?
Who get it, I guess you get to break that rule. Can you imagine how happy he would have been with all the different color Posca pens?
Probably could have kept him away, right?
He'd have been in a hog heaven.
So, I'm liking that too. Even a bit of, I've done all this without practically just 2 brushes. A little bit of this white and yellow in here too. There we go, not much. You're thinking, gosh, there's something. So, a little bit of extra white. I think we need something here. I don't. So what do we got here? You gave me some different colored. I gave you some different colored pens. I got a black one. Okay, make that a dot on that eye a little smaller. Now, you see it between here and here? You can't see it. Do you see that? This color and this color, you can't see?
You can't, yeah, you can't see where his chin is.
Nope.
Or her chin.
So what we'll do is we'll make her a little bit wider right here. Now you can see her.
Ooh, a little bit of hard action.
Well, yeah, how about a little bit of hard action?
It's kind of a little subtle there. Not really yelling about it. It's there if you catch it. A little symbolism going on here.
Well, I'm just showing you that, I'll probably stop about now, but I'm just saying that you can...
No,
you can have a lot of fun here, can't you?
Well, we'd like to thank everybody for joining us this evening. If you haven't had a chance to press that subscribe button, go out of your way and press that subscribe button. Costs you nothing. It does a world of good for us.
Let me move our pens a little bit here and then just...
Ooh, we're going to frame it. Let's frame this puppy.
Let me just show you what this guy looks like framed. So make sure that you've got enough white up here on the nose here, because your white gets a little dirty.
And there's nothing worse than dirty white.
So make sure you've got enough of that. But all right, we put it right here. I think we have created
a masterpiece.
A masterpiece of Van Gogh's style. What do you guys think?
Oh, look at that. Make it squared up in the screen, that'd be nice.
Yeah, like that? You guys,
Thank you.
What do you think, right? And
oh, that's really nice.
I mean, you just, every once in a while you think, well, if I just didn't follow the photograph, if I just kind of took a general photograph and said, what could I do to make it more interesting, right? Because remember, keep in mind, wherever there's a light, there's a dark, right? So you want to keep in mind about that.
Yeah,
And
you got to watch out for your tones coming in the same.
yeah, you got to watch that out. And now that I see it in the frame, do I need to pull this this little thing down a little bit further here, right, like that, down to meet the horse here? Okay. I just brought her down, and then I might bring her kind of lost our mane a little bit here, there, something like that. So that puts
the pull back.
yeah, pushes the pole back, but it's still there, right? Okay.
It's there, but it's not.
Yeah. So I think that's a very happy carousel horse painting. What do you guys think? It's just something happy and different, and definitely a way for you to. You're not going to do it the same way I did it, but you can take a leap from what I did and then see what you come up with. I'm dying to see what you do. I can't wait to see it, because I think that, I did some decorations and stuff. What I would suggest you do is sort of Google carousel horses and see different things that they have. And I know sometimes you can put a rein. I didn't want to put a rein and block here. I almost could do it on this one, but I didn't want to do it. I like these lines coming, so we just left those off.
Yeah.
I left the light, I like the light yellow we've got here on some of this.
Again, it's one of those paintings you can play with for days.
Yeah. That kind of like that, bring it all out. But I think overall,
Do you think you have achieved the Van Gogh-ish style?
you think you've achieved it, and it's just, have you thought outside the box today? That's what we're doing. So I hope that you'll check out certainly hope you're reading our Gazette. One thing I was going to do, and I won't do it, but I thought about it at the beginning, so I better tell you, is if you took some lightweight clear gel, okay, and just used a brush, and then just did little tiny brush strokes all over this color, following it, let it dry for 3 days, it would look like all of this was a big texture without ever actually having to do it. But again, so, I'll tell you what I might do is that when we get back home, I might do this after John photographs this. I might do it and then show it to you next week. What do you think?
You never know.
So I might do it, might not, but stay tuned. Thanks for joining us. Like I say, we're on an airplane.
Flapping our wings.
Hope you had fun.
And we'll see you next week. And we should be live next week if all goes well.
Bye.
Bye. Ginger Cook, the queen of color, with a blazing brush at the speed of light, and a blank canvas, and a hearty yes and yes. The queen of color, Ginger Cook, and her sidekick, John Little, teach you to paint with acrylics.